Breaking news, police have just captured the suspected gunman in that deadly shooting.
We get right out to Dan Kennedy, who is on that scene. Dan, this all happened just within the last few minutes.
Yeah, really just the last 5 minutes. I want to walk you through what happened. So our live truck is down here located at the end of this street, and the murder suspect started walking up this street past our truck. I immediately recognized the face, so I hopped out of the truck, had the cell phone video rolling, and had the chance to ask him a question, Cameron Ross, as he was surrendering to detectives, if he had anything to say. He chose not to talk. He immediately made his way up here to officers where they're standing right in front of this crime scene, and this is where he got on the ground and surrendered without incident. This is pretty rare. A 24-year-old murder suspect surrendering, returning to the scene of the crime, and giving himself up to police after several hours on the run. It was about 1:30 this morning that police say this man, Cameron Ross, shot and killed his brother here inside this North Nashville home that they share with the mother. It was the mother who called 911. There's been a manhunt for him for going on about 4 hours that he has been on the run, but now he's been captured. Cameron Ross is in police custody, and soon we anticipate potential criminal homicide charges coming down as well. So stay tuned on all this. Again, all this happening just within the last few minutes. But Adam and Amy, that murder suspect, now in custody. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dan. Affordable.
Just within the last few minutes, an accused murderer returns to the scene of the crime and surrenders to police. We were there to capture the video, and you'll see it coming up.
It's election day. We have breaking news. The man accused of shooting and killing his brother has surrendered.
News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy actually spoke to the gunman. Dan, did he have anything to say as he turned himself in right there?
Yeah, no, he walked right by our news truck, immediately recognized his face, and pulled out the cell phone camera and asked him if he had anything to say about the incident that occurred at this house overnight. He shook his head and then put up his hands like this to surrender to police. He was arrested without incident just within the last 10 minutes. This is a look at the crime scene right now over off Pier Point Drive in the North Nashville area. You see detectives and police gathered outside of this home. Inside, police believe Cameron Ross is responsible for shooting and killing his brother. Their mother was also inside that home, and she called 911 to alert them of this incident at about 1:30 this morning. Since then, Cameron Ross, the suspect, has been on the run from about 1:30 until about 5:15 in the morning, when he started walking up this street to surrender. And that's exactly what happened a few moments ago. Cameron Ross, if you'll come back out to us live right now, is actually in this police car, we believe, and that is passing us right now. So Ross is in that patrol car, and it looked like they may be on their way to the North Police Precinct, where detectives are going to question him a little further about what exactly took place at this house this morning. Ross responsible, police say, for shooting and killing his brother at about 1:30 this morning. So Amy and Adam, still a whole lot we're working through. We're going to get you that video of him surrendering very soon. We're editing that together for you and should have that in no time. Reporting live in North Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
All right, we have some more breaking news now. The man accused of shooting and killing his brother overnight in North Nashville has surrendered.
News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy was there as that man turned himself in and was handcuffed. Dan, you have some video of that arrest.
Yeah, we promised that video to you. We're going to give it to you right now as Cameron Ross, the murder suspect in this incident, walked down this street, returning to the scene of the crime about 4 hours after it happened, and surrendered to police. This is the video as Ross walked down this North Nashville road where he resides with his mother and brother. He's accused of shooting and killing his brother about 1:30 this morning. He walked up the street, walked right by our news truck. We had the chance to ask him if he had any comment. He shook his head no, and then put his hands up to surrender to officers, and that's when he got down on the ground and was arrested without incident. He's now being taken to the North Police Precinct for further questioning. We expect some homicide warrants to come down very soon. And Cameron Ross, we're going to keep an eye on this story throughout the morning. Check back in with you in about 15 minutes. Reporting live in North Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Incredible video, Dan. He did just walk right past you. Well, the Houston Rockets will pay tribute to the victims. Rebecca, thank you. Breaking news now. The hunt is over for an overnight murder suspect. Police tell us Cameron Ross just surrendered. And News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy is live at the home on Pierpont Drive where it happened early this morning. And Dan, you witnessed him turn himself in. You have some amazing video to show us.
Yeah, Amy, as a matter of fact, I was sitting over here in our live truck at the very end of the street over on Pierpont Drive at about 5:20 this morning when the accused murderer, Cameron Ross, came walking up the street. He wasn't wearing a shirt but had a jacket on, recognized the face and started following him as he made his way up to the house where police say just earlier this morning he shot and killed his brother. It was in this driveway that Cameron Ross then got down at his knees, put his hands in the air, and surrendered to police who were standing just about 15 feet away in this driveway like they are now. Cameron Ross was arrested without incident and is now on his way to the North Police Precinct for further questioning. Police believe he's the man responsible for shooting and killing his own brother inside this home at about 1:30 this morning. And the video you're looking at now is video of Ross surrendering to detectives a little less than an hour ago. He had been on the run for close to 4 hours in this residential area of North Nashville. Police still looking for a motive. They say it was potentially an argument that erupted inside this home that the brothers shared with their mother at about 1:30 this morning when those shots were fired and Ross's brother was shot and killed inside. It was the mother who called 911 to report that her son shot her other son. He was pronounced dead inside this home when police arrived. And detectives have been out here on the scene for several hours now, though they are wrapping up their investigation here. They should be going back to the North Police Precinct very shortly, Adam and Amy. That's where the suspect is at this hour for a little further questioning. We expect those criminal homicide charges to come down a little later this morning. If you want to see the full video of us confronting the accused killer as he made his way up to detectives, I've posted that on my Facebook and Twitter pages at NC5 Dan Kennedy. Reporting live in North Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
All right, Dan, thank you. And a big thank you. And more breaking news. The hunt for an overnight murder suspect is over after the alleged gunman surrendered to police as our cameras were rolling. And News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy live at that home on Pierpont Drive right now.
And Dan, you were actually there when he turned himself in. Incredible video that you showed us a little bit ago. What's going on with this?
Yeah, police say that Cameron Ross is the man suspected in this 1:30 a.m. murder. He had been on the run for several hours and was right down here at the end of Pierpont Drive where he started making his way up after 4 hours on the run. In fact, I was sitting in our live truck there at the end of the street when he walked right by, immediately recognized him and started following him with our cameras, had the chance to ask him a question, and then this driveway right here is where he got down on his knees, hands in the air, and surrendered to officers who were standing just about 15-20 feet away in the driveway next door, which is the actual crime scene. So the accused murderer makes his way back to the crime scene, and this is the video we have of Cameron Ross as he surrendered to police, surrendered without incident. He was placed in handcuffs and is now on his way to the North Police Precinct for further questioning, and we expect homicide charges to come a little later this morning. Police say that Ross and his brother got into some kind of argument inside the home they share with their mother at about 1:30 this morning. It was the mom who called 911 saying her son had shot and killed her other son. When police arrived on scene, they had pronounced that son dead. And then an active manhunt for the other son, Cameron Ross, who again was missing for close to 4 hours. Police had their K-9 units out, but couldn't find a scent of him anywhere nearby. But again, he made it easy for him as he walked right back to the crime scene itself several hours later, ready to give himself up to officers. So they still don't have an exact motive in this case, but they are again questioning Ross at the North Precinct right now. We've looked into his criminal history. To read a little more about that, we have it on our website. And Amy and Adam, if you want to see the full video of us confronting him and asking Ross a question as he turned himself into police, I've posted that on my Facebook page, NC5 Dan Kennedy. Reporting live in North Nashville, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.